club, bitches.
Now, I've been called a lot in my 23 years, but Donkey of the Day is a new one.
Donkey of the Day for Monday, January 23rd goes to Daniela Leese. She's 26 years old, and she's a Canadian woman who in 2019 was convicted of impaired driving that led to a massive explosion in London. Y'all might have forgot or never heard of Daniela. But she pled guilty to 4 counts of impaired driving, and she was sentenced to 3 years in prison in 2021. Can I refresh your memory? Let's go to CTV News for the report, please.
22-year-old Daniela Leese faces a dozen charges connected to the blast that rocked the Old East Village mid-August. Leese faces charges including impaired operation over 80 milligrams causing bodily harm and 4 counts of criminal negligence causing bodily harm. On August 14th, emergency crews responded to the Woodman Avenue address for a collision. Once on scene, responders noticed the smell of gas, and within minutes, the house exploded. Police believe the vehicle hit a gas line when it collided with the home. Now, roughly 100 homes had to be evacuated, and 7 people were injured, including multiple first responders.
Jesus Christ. Well, you know we live in a world where nobody holds themselves accountable for nothing. Okay, nothing is never the fault of the person, all right? Blame always has to go to someone else. So Daniela is blaming someone else for this. She's actually filing a lawsuit against Ovations Ontario Food Services, alleging that the company shares some of the liability for civil lawsuits filed by the victims of the blast because they served her alcohol. Yeah, she's blaming it on the alcohol. I can't make this kind of stuff up. Let's go to CTV News for the report, please.
The Kitchener woman behind the wheel in an impaired driving crash that destroyed and damaged several homes in London is suing the company that served her at Budweiser Gardens that night. Daniela Leese is facing a number of civil lawsuits in relation to the August 2019 crash and says Ovations Ontario Food Services should share liability. Now, CTV's Krista Simpson is joining us now with more on this story. Krista, before the crash, Leese was at a concert.
Ricardo, the statement of claim says, among other things, the company served her alcohol, didn't monitor how much she was drinking, let her drink more than she should have, and ejected her from the venue without making sure she was not going to drive impaired. In October 2020, Leese pleaded guilty to 4 counts of impaired driving causing bodily harm, ultimately being sentenced to 3 years in prison. Lee's lawsuit against Ovations Ontario Food Services says the crash would not have happened if the company had not been negligent.
You know, I came up in an era when drinking and driving was a choice. Okay, you can drink or you can drive. You can drive or you can drink, but you cannot do both. Okay, we had so many reminders not to drink and drive. You know, South Carolina had the Highways or Diveways commercials. I don't know if they were national. I think they might have been national. Virginia had to drive sober or get pulled over. Those might have been national too. I don't remember. But remember the buzz driving is drunk driving campaigns? Mm-hmm. I know Texas had the faces of drunk driving ads. I mean, don't drink and drive was literally drilled into our brains since day one. Okay, not to mention this happened in 2019. All right, the rideshare revolution has been happening for a long time. Okay, the Lyfts, the Ubers of the world. There was somebody you could have called Daniela. Now, don't get me wrong. We know that some bars can be held liable when they know a person is intoxicated and they keep serving them. I don't know if this is one of those situations, okay? The lawsuit is saying that they knew she was intoxicated and did not train or supervise staff serving alcohol and put profit above safety. I don't know if all that is true. I don't know if all that is proven. All I know is that in the drunk driving case, the primary defendant is the drunk driver. Okay, we live in a society where nobody wants to be held accountable for their actions. It's always somebody else's fault. She's better off saying the devil made me do it. Okay, if you're going to blame somebody, blame Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub, Trump, whatever you call the devil. She might as well have put the blame on that evil entity because all that is more believable and makes more sense. But at the end of the day, we are all accountable for ourselves. Simple as that. Accountability breeds responsibility. So whenever you see someone doing something as irresponsible as Daniela did, it's because she's probably a human who has never been held accountable for anything she's ever done in her life. Okay, that 3 years in prison she's serving right now is the first time she's probably ever been held accountable for her actions. And of course, she doesn't want to take full responsibility. Well, kids, always remember, 99% of all failures come from people who have a habit of making excuses. Safe to say, Daniela falls under that 99%. Please let Remy Ma give Daniela Lease the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
All right. Well, thank you for the donkey of the day.
Now, let's talk about you, Envy.
What you mean?
How you feeling this morning? You know, you're in colonoscopy prep right now?
Yes. I am. Well, if you don't know, I'm getting my colonoscopy today. Now, that's where they, I guess, stick a camera up your butt and look for polyps or anything that shouldn't be there. And if they do find something, cut it out, take it out to make sure that you are okay. They usually make you do it at age 40 and older if you have history in your family, or 45 if you don't.
45 and older. It used to be 50 but the age came down to 45. But if you have
it's
a
40,
history
it's 40 in some places. It's 40. Some doctors do 40 if you have history.
Yeah, if you have a history of it. That's why I was able to get it early, because I'm 44, but I was able to get it early because I have a history of it in my family. I went and got mine over the holidays, and I told you that the prep was going to be the hardest part. Have you felt that thus far?
Yes, yes, I have. So for people that don't know, this is Uncle talking right now. And this is if you have a dad or uncle or anybody in your life. People are usually scared to do this, and they're scared to do it because, one, they don't want people probing around their butt. And two, a lot of people, people are scared sometimes to hear the results. But we have to get it done earlier, because if it's done early, they can treat it and they could make sure that, they can cut all cancerous polyps or anything like that out. So the prep is this.
No, I was going to say, I promise you, to everybody listening, the prep is the worst part. And Envy's going to realize this after he gets somebody in his butt today, because you're not even going to remember nobody being in your butt. They're going to hit you with that IV. And they're going to tell you you're going to be out within seconds, and you're not going to believe them. And they're going to tell you when you wake up, it's going to be all over, and it's really going to be all over.
Yeah, so the prep is pretty much this. I'll break it down fast. For 3 days, you can't eat anything solid. So you can't eat no meat, no salad, nothing like that. You have to kind of keep it easy. The day before, you have to take these pills. It's 12 pills. They feel like horse pills, big as hell. You got to swallow it with 16 ounces of water. And then for the next 4 hours, you on that toilet. I mean, you are pooping. The first couple of poops.
Oh, no, it's bad.
Hey, the first couple of poops is everything that's inside of you. But after that, you just pooping water.
I mean, water.
Straight water fountain. It don't even feel like diarrhea. It just feel like straight up and down.
It feels like a colonic. If you've ever had a colonic, it feels like a colonic. Like when that colonic is over and you go sit on that toilet and it's just number water coming out. That's what it is. But here's the thing. You got a lot of concerns. Like I've heard you care about who the doctor is. You don't know who the doctor is?
No, I know who the doctor is. What do you mean I care about the doctor? No, because Taylor came in and was talking about, do you prefer a male doctor or a woman doctor?
It don't matter when you're trying to live.
That's what she was saying. And I was saying I prefer a male doctor. I have a male doctor. And the reason I have a male doctor is not because I want a male doctor all up in my butt, but when it comes to
Why
talking
do you
to a
gotta say that?
No, because when you have a male doctor, I prefer, this is just me, I prefer a doctor that has the same parts as me that I can explain things to. So if something hurts in my body, in my butt that I have, or in my testicles, or my whatever, I can say, hey, it feels like this. That's why I have a male doctor. That's me.
Y'all do know, y'all know women get colonoscopies too, right?
Yeah, but women don't have testicles. Well,
what does the testicles have to do with anything?
I'm just talking about the doctor that I have. That's it. I just want a male.
Shut up, man. Anyway, back to colonoscopy.
What is the question? What is the question? What are we talking? Why are we even talking about this?
Because people have a lot of concerns. You know what I'm saying? People that are going through this have a lot of concerns, and I want to encourage men to go out there and get colonoscopy. So I'm telling them that the prep is the worst part, right? Some people are concerned about who the doctor is. That's just silly to me. Of course, you're afraid they're going to find polyps, or even worse, cancer. So we're hoping for that. And I told you might wake up with an erection.
Now that, it concerns me a lot.
I woke up with an erection.
All right.
Big stiffy, too.
So a male doctor was playing in your butt, and then you woke up with an erection.
Whatever. I'm just telling you that it happened.
What's the question?
So it's not a question. I want people to call in this morning and give you words of encouragement. You know what I'm saying? We're going to call this the Colonoscopy Prep Hotline. Okay? And I want people to call in and give you words of encouragement and talk about, their experiences. What did they experience, during their prep for a colonoscopy? And after the colonoscopy was done. You know, we want to alleviate some of your fears.
All right, 800-585-1051. And I have a question, right? When you woke up and your penis was erect and you and the doctor were staring at in each other's eyes, what was the first thing he said or you said to him?
Man, I wasn't even thinking about that. I just was looking down. I was very aware that I had a stiffy, though. And I was like, damn, why can't it look like this more often?
Did you look at him and say, I love you? Like how did that? Anyway, 800-585-1051.
I was looking at myself impressed, actually. Like the whole 7 inches, 3/4 was out. I was like, man, can I take some of this medicine home?
We're talking colonoscopies when we come back. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Donkey of the Day is brought to you by the law office of Michael S. Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say the bull if you've been hurt in a construction accident. That's pound 250 from your cell and say the bull.